Hi everyone, I'm here with another live. I'm just waiting for some people to join, and then we're gonna start with a channeled message that I got yesterday. And I did one of these lives last week where I shared a channeled dragon message, and the dragons wanted to share another message this week because we are in times of rapid transformation, lots of energy shifting. We just got out of Mercury retrograde, and there's a few people joining. Hi everybody. I'm gonna share a channeled message in a little bit. I'm waiting for some more people maybe to join so that they can hear it from the beginning. And I'm also going to be pulling some cards after I'm done with the message, talking about some energies that came up, some other messages that came through for the next week and a half, to keep in the back of your mind. And also like some controversy that I've come across when it comes to angels, dragons, ascended masters, some things that people have asked me about that I feel would be good for all of you to hear again. So last week, if you were here last week, if you watched the live or you watched the replay, it doesn't matter. They talked about a massive cleansing. So the dragons talked about a big cleansing energy coming in. And in my energy updates for March and April, I spoke about a lot of accelerated energies, a lot of rapid shifts, and things kind of building and building like a volcano, almost like a volcano, and that has finally erupted, or a big storm building, a big storm. And now this storm, it seems like we are in the middle of this storm, or now we are kind of coming out of this storm that I talked about last week. And you're kind of standing there looking at the damage. So that's kind of the situation that we are in right now energetically, and it looks very just unorganized. And that's something that they're going to be talking about too, about structure, organizing. So I'm just gonna dive into this message, and if you are joining in a little bit, then just watch from the beginning. Okay, I'm just gonna get started on sharing this message that came through yesterday on the 25th. So that was when Mercury went direct again. And the title is "It's Time to Start Reorganizing Now." So that makes perfect sense. After this Mercury retrograde, a lot of stuff is ready to be restructured, reorganized. So let's begin sharing the message. It's time to start reorganizing now. We golden dragons, the seraphim, golden dragons, are known for burning away illusion and illuminating truth. Now that the dust has settled, you can clearly see what needs to go, what needs to change, and what needs to be embraced. Perhaps there were parts of you hidden that can now be revealed, parts that deserve to be seen more. So that's what they're saying. What is it that is keeping you from fully seeing those parts? Now that Mercury has gone direct again, we are asking you to ask your dragon guides to show you with love and compassion what needs to be cleared out. The energies, as you will notice, will get a little more gentle again. They will slow down a little bit again now this coming week. Embrace the flow of things and do not force anything. It is what we want you to remember for this upcoming week. So for those that are joining now, make sure that you go and watch the replay to catch the beginning of this message. So don't force anything, is what they're saying. Listen to your bodies, because your bodies will be holding all the answers for you right now. And I'm also gonna go into how we can do that after I'm done with this message. But the body is really important this week, especially now after this Mercury retrograde. Listen to your bodies because they hold all the answers. This is a time for recalibration. We know that a lot has been coming up in these times of rapid shifts and changes. But now it is time to start harvesting the fruits of your labor. And first, it's time for some restructuring and reorganizing of your energy and of your physical reality, is what they're saying. We are asking you to look at the bigger picture of things. You made it through a marathon, it feels like. Now take inventory of all the things that you see around you, observe it, and by seeing what can be tossed out, what can be kept, you can start getting more clear on what you are ready to show the world, what you are ready to become, and who you really are. And take this time to exhale and prepare, because as you will see, the month of May will bring a shift of energy that will be most welcome. This is a week of reviewing the damage after the storm. Although we do not like the word damage, is what they're saying, the golden dragons, because it was a necessary storm, a cleansing storm, is what they're saying. And they're showing me this lightning, like a bunch of light, flames of light basically, and it's a cleansing storm that took place. And you will start to see more clearly what needs to be done, and you will start to see a way forward more clearly and where you are headed. So that is the message that came through, and it's slightly different from last week's message. Last week it was all about this clearing, this cleansing that we were in, and now that has passed. And let me know in the comments whether you're watching this now live with me, or if you watch it later on replay. Do you feel that last week was just a lot of stuff building up, and you were in the middle of this storm, almost like electricity, and now you're starting to kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel? You're starting to kind of see what's going on around you again. So for those that are joining now, make sure to catch the replay for the channeled message. But basically what I was saying was that we are now in this phase where we're starting to see clarity again after this storm that we just got out of, because we're also now being asked, this is something I wrote down here, to really pay attention to your body. Now is going to be a week of really feeling everything in your body, being very present with your body, not trying to escape too much in your head or in the upper chakras, but really trying to do things that require you to be in your body. So how can you do that? So let me know in the comments too if you have good advice, what works for you, simple tips and tricks for people, how they could develop some sort of a routine, something very easy. I have some of those things that I mentioned in my free course. I have a free course where I talk about intuitive development, also grounding. So easy things like develop a routine for yourself, especially if you are a sensitive person that perceives way more than other people, or some people will call them people with ADHD, autism. It doesn't matter if you're gonna look at it through a psychological lens or through a spiritual lens. People that have more receivers, basically, or more fine-tuned receivers. And the way I always say it is that have like mentally 50 lanes next to each other opened up, and your car can go from lane 1 to lane 50 in 1 second. And other people have one lane, and that's what they're doing, and they're just on this one lane, and basically all this stuff is coming through. You have to make sure that you can ground it in, because otherwise you're gonna get all fried, and your crown chakra is basically going to be fried, and the information isn't going to properly sink into your body where it needs to go to activate things on a physical level, because we are in the physical world. Let me see. Divinity says. It seems like what needs to happen is for it to resurface so that it can be felt and released. Exactly. So a few people have joined now. I just shared a channeled message from the Golden Dragons that was all about recalibration, kind of now looking at the damage after the storm, but they didn't really like the word damage. It's all about taking inventory and kind of now seeing, okay, we can start to see things more clearly now. Now we can see what is actually happening. This storm was a necessary storm. And it's really important that you now, and that's something that came through yesterday. Hi, the Libra Soul Sisters. And Olga says, thank you, dragons. Yeah, well, they want to be more vocal, so they're gonna be on my channel a little more from now on. What came through yesterday was your body is your office, and or your temple. We hear that all the time. Not everybody is doing this energetic work for a living, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do, what your job is. Basically, everything starts from within you. Everything begins from within you. So what did I write down? So how do you prepare your office space? Imagine you have a desk. And if you are, I don't know, you may be a dentist, you may be a teacher, maybe you are an architect. Okay, they have messy desks. That was a bad example. You are somebody that works in an office. So you need to have this office, this clutter needs to be organized first before you can begin a project. Otherwise, it's going to just take way longer. So how do you do that if your body is like the office, that you start your work, your day, you begin your day? What do you do in the morning that removes the clutter, that brings structure to your day? And this is something that they said is going to be important now for the next couple of days, the next week. It's going to help us to see these things more clearly. It's going to offer a sense of security, a sense of stability. When all this new stuff is coming in, we're getting all these insights, these clear insights. We're going to get more clarity on a lot of stuff that was just all floating around in this storm. It's like this little tornado and all this stuff's floating around. And now all of this dust has settled. It's all clutter. It's everywhere. Now we have to clean up this messy desk. How are you going to integrate this new stuff into your body where it can be anchored in and activate the next step on your journey? So how can you support this process physically? Some people are gonna get downloads about drinking more water. Other people are gonna get downloads about eating a certain way. This can be different for you, can be different for me. Listen to what your body is asking you to do. Some people are gonna get the guidance to pay extra attention to sleep. Other people are gonna get the guidance to do more exercise, start working out more, going outside more. Your body is your office space. It's your desk that you now need to clear up, and that's going to support you this week that is coming up. So let me know if you're watching this right now. Have you been getting downloads like that? What has the guidance been for you? Because it can be helpful for other people to hear what has been helping you, because they may get some kind of a like intuitive nudge from it, and they may feel that they have to try that too. So whether you're watching now or you're watching later on replay, let me know. And a routine, establishing some routine, which is not easy for creative people, for people with ADHD, people that are sensitive, that have to, like, you always kind of have to respect the cycles of your mood. Especially when you are a woman, you will notice that you cannot do certain things certain times of the month because they require more energy than on other times of the month or whatever. So look at a routine that allows for you to still be flexible, but that brings this stability that I was talking about earlier, a routine that kind of, there's more people joining. Make sure that you go and check out the channeled message, because it was all about taking inventory now, looking at the clutter that can be cleared out. So let me know how you do that on a daily basis. Like, it can be as simple as getting up in the morning and drinking a big glass of water first before anything else, deciding to drink water. Like, you can wake up, have a bunch of racing thoughts. You can wake up and be overwhelmed right away. A lot of neurodivergent people, they wake up, they are immediately frozen. They are already in paralysis. And you don't need to be neurodivergent. I mean, you can be highly sensitive. You can just be going through all these downloads. You can be going through all this stuff that is coming up for you because you are sensitive, because you are psychic, because you are intuitive, and you are activating a bunch of stuff. So you can wake up and be like, what is happening? What is going on over here? And little things like a vague structure that you have that works for you to then go to the next step, to the next step. And it can be as simple as drinking a glass of water. Okay, I did that. Having an oracle deck or something and just pulling a few cards in the morning before you start your day. Or just listening to affirmations every day, saying a specific prayer, calling on a specific archangel or something, or a meditation. Mantras, indeed. Mantras are extremely good, and it doesn't have to be an Indian mantra. It could be an Aramaic mantra, an Aramaic prayer, or in other languages, other spiritual languages that you work with. So those are very quick ways to immediately reset your energy. Let me see, because I feel like I skipped some comments. Brandy says, I've realized I need to eat intuitively instead of what I think I need to eat or not eat. Yes. And like, what came through for me was to start intermittent fasting again. So what does that mean, intermittent fasting? It just means, and that may work for me, may not at all work for you, but for me, it means that I can structure my day. And I'm not just eating all day long, snacking, eating, then eating, blah, 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 because then I get bored, or I just need like, oh, I need a quick dopamine hit, let me eat some chocolate. No, then I have a structure, and the rest becomes more structured. And then I can schedule the rest of my day around my eating schedule. So if you don't know what intermittent fasting is, that is when you only have an 8-hour eating window every day. So you eat between noon and 8 in the evening. That's your window for eating. And after 8, you don't eat anymore till noon the next day. But you can eat as much as you want within that window of time. So you actually eat the same amount in a day. You just eat it in a smaller window of time. So that works for me, because I then have clear blocks that help support, like this clutter that's everywhere flying around. Then you are going to be able to make sense of all the rest, because that's one less thing you have to think of, for instance. Or let me see. And the intuitive eating, that is definitely, we need to just listen to our bodies and what they need, what they are telling us that they need, instead of what somebody else is telling you that your body needs. But yeah, meditation, mantras are definitely very helpful. Jessica, Christina, yeah, I'm happy to see that you are here. If you have any questions, or you just want to share what's been happening for you just with the energies lately, we are now out of Mercury retrograde. And we are now kind of talking just about taking inventory, kind of like looking around. And the damage, they said the word damage, but they don't really like that word. They said looking at all the stuff, like the dust has settled, looking at all the stuff, the clutter that's everywhere, and what can we use, what can we get rid of. So, and some easy energetic tips and tricks to discern how we can easily get more clarity on how to do that. So whatever works for you, share it in the comments. And Brandy says, I love intermittent fasting too. And why? I'm quickly gonna share why I feel that it's good, but it may not be good for you, because also when you're pregnant, you should not do it. And I didn't do it when I was pregnant because I was just always starving. So that would not have worked at all. But apparently, and I'm not a doctor, but I am a Libra, and Libras will research for a very long, I was almost gonna swear, but I'm not gonna do it. Libras will research the something out of something because they want to know everything. So they are going to be the people that are going to read 50 reviews, 50 articles, watch 50 YouTube videos on something before they're going to do it, because they want to know that this is a good thing to try. So I am a Libra indeed, yes. The Libra soul sisters, yes, we have another Libra, is what she's thinking. But so this doctor said, what happens when you wake up in the morning is there is all this glucose, I guess, in your liver. And from the moment that you wake up, your body gets the signal, oh, you have woken up, and the liver releases a bunch of glucose into your body, into your bloodstream. And then when we get up and we immediately start eating carbs or sugar or whatever, you're going to be dumping more glucose onto a system that's already processing glucose. And for me, the results have been, and this has been proven, that if you wait till around noon to eat, then you're going to have way more mental clarity. You're actually going to feel more alert, more awake, more focused. So for people that, for instance, have ADHD, people that know that they are easily overwhelmed, that are very sensitive, this is a very good solution to stay alert and to stay just very focused in the morning, and you're saving time. And then you eat around noon and you just eat a very big lunch. But again, if you try it and your body tells you, no, this isn't for me, then do what your body tells you, because this is just what works for me. And I do it like off and on, because I've done it for years. Then I stopped when I had a baby, and then I kind of just ate whenever I felt like I needed to eat. And now a few weeks ago, my guides gave me the sign again, hey, maybe you should try this again for a while. So I'm now doing it again, and this could help you. So, but you could pull cards in the morning to see how those can assist you to be open to the guidance, which is a good way to tune into yourself rather than go outside of yourself right away in the morning by opening Instagram, opening Facebook, opening all this other stuff. Because in the morning, you're still very connected to that in-between realm. So that is something for this next week that I feel that came through, that is really important to really go into your body. Go into your body, or you could try scripting. Scripting is a way of manifesting, and every day you could just write. It's like a diary, basically. But you are basically writing the script for the day, what you want this day to be like. And it can be something like, okay, you're feeling overwhelmed. And then you could write, I am having a great day. This day is going so well for me. Everything is happening smoothly for me today. I have an easy time getting my work done today. I have an easy time finding solutions for XYZ problems today. So you could do that early in the morning. That would be a very good way to immediately set the tone of the day, to find that structure for the day. That's what I started doing. My guides came through and told me start doing that about 2 weeks ago. because they could anticipate that these energies were going to get very intense. So try it out. Let me know how it works. And if you want more guidance with this, I do offer mentorship if you want to find better ways to build this structure in your life. Just send me a message and we will talk about it. What else? Prayer, meditation. Yeah, so that's something that we have seen in the comments too. Did you get any information on how the natural world is receiving these downloads? That is a very good question. I did have a very interesting conversation with a friend the other day, and she works very closely with the elementals. And because our bodies, of course, our bodies are an aspect of the earth body that we are a part of. So all these things I feel that we are going through, the planet is also going through, and we're like small antennas that are assisting the planet. But the same with our animals, the same with nature. You can see how there were all of a sudden these earthquakes that happened a few weeks ago. You can see that nature is also responding to these intense shifts. So I do feel like in general, that stuff is going to stabilize a little bit now. But they're showing me almost like this curve that goes up and down, kind of. Like we're still going to be going through some shifts where you can see that nature is really responding, but that we can support this process by really holding the planet, like assisting and making sure that she feels that you are here supporting this process together, that you can see the planet like your ally, because that's what she is your ally. And a lot of people, especially people that identify with the starseed label or that resonate with the starseed label, they will say, oh, I hate it here, this planet is not my home, oh, I want to go back home, all this stuff. You want to go home, we get it. But the thing is, you have been here for a very long time now. You have been coming, most of you watching have had multiple lifetimes on planet Earth. You are invested. It's like this show that you've been watching, this reality show. You are invested. You are now emotionally invested. You want to see the finale. You want to see what's going to happen. You are going to be rooting for this planet. You're going to want this planet to make it. You're going to want to support this. I'm getting sidetracked, I know. So more information on the natural world. I'm going to pull a card on that actually, because I have a few card decks here, by the way. And I'm going to pull some cards in a little bit. There was a few more things I wanted to ramble about that are here on my screen. Oops, and this came flying out. So, crystal clear intentions. Archangel Michael, be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. I feel like the planet is ready for us to take this next step with her, is what's coming up. So the planet is just ready for us to get with the program. So she's ready to ascend. She's ready for us to see that we are actually a fifth dimensional planet, that we are living under this slumber, this web of illusion, that we can become our own creators, that we can create just like she does, like the planet does. She can grow new life. We can do the same in our lives. So she's doing this on a planetary scale. We can do this in our own lives, in our body. That is why we're really being asked to take care of our bodies, to nurture our bodies right now as we are integrating. And it feels like that's what she is doing too. Like nature feels like it is going to be in this little cocoon for a little bit. And then there may be more outbursts that you're going to see, like little storms and earthquakes and stuff. but I feel like it is going to be controlled. It's not necessarily going to be big disasters. Not now, anyway. What I'm feeling is that it's all part of cleansing. It's like this decluttering that I mentioned all the way in the beginning of this video, this decluttering of the desk. The planet is doing the same thing, is restructuring, is clearing stuff out. And then this other one. Archangel Azrael, your loved ones in heaven are doing fine, letting go of worries. Feel their loving bliss. Yes, sometimes these messages, you can't really take them too literal, but then other stuff will come through. As Azrael is the angel of death and rebirth. So that's what she's doing, the planet. We're really in this death and rebirth of energies. That's exactly what this is, this massive cleansing that I spoke of in last week's channeling. Now we are preparing for the rebirth cycle. And in a lot of places, spring hasn't really begun yet. A lot of people online, I see they're like, what's going on? Why am I still wearing a jacket? I should be in a t-shirt right now. Hello, where are you, spring? Like a lot of people are saying in the Western Hemisphere anyway, whatever, you know what I mean. In the Northern Hemisphere, in the West, where it is now spring, we see that there's people saying, like, it's still cold, what's going on? And I feel this is necessary. Like, the planet's just kind of being an introvert right now. This is kind of what's coming through. So yeah, thank you. I love hearing that. I consider Gaia to be a master teacher, really. Yes, she truly is. Because when I work with inner earth, really, and I take people in hypnosis to Telos, to the inside of the earth, and you can notice, even though it's on the astral plane, immediately a shift takes place the moment people descend and drop down into the center of the earth on an astral plane. You can immediately feel this cocoon, that the earth is supporting everybody that I take there. Because she is also invested in our well-being, because she has met us before in other lifetimes. She knows who you are. And you know who she is. So you are invested in what's going to happen with this planet. So by just acknowledging the planet as an entity, as a being, that is how you can already start to assist her in her process. And yeah, the Libra soul sister says it is cold. It is really cold, and I am ready for it to start getting warmer. Now, what else did I have over here before I pull some cards for you? I posted some videos this week. I had a very inspiring week where I shared a lot of stuff. I had one video where I spoke about reptilians. I know a lot of people get triggered when they read that. Dragon energies versus reptilian energies. The origin of dragons, where I kind of touched on how it all began, how I see dragons originating from source, and how there was this choice. If you have not watched the video, I'm not gonna like repeat the whole 10 minutes, but the gist of it was that there was a point in time-space reality where certain entities decided to cut themselves off from source and to become parasitic in a way, and those are then known as the reptilians. So, and how the dragons and reptilians are two very different things, although originally we all come from source. So that video, definitely go watch it. It's on my channel. Triggered quite some reactions online, and it was surprising to me to see how people can be triggered by a topic like dragons. And I wrote some stuff about that over here. That, yeah, because you are bursting a bubble, basically, and sometimes it's easier to hold on to a story than to look at something that may be completely different. Because this certain people were saying, okay, but aren't all reptiles just evil? Reptiles are evil, blah, blah, blah. But when you go look at Dolores Cannon's work, she saw people in hypnosis sessions that had lifetimes as very ancient reptile beings in very far away universes that were very peaceful, highly advanced, benevolent reptile beings that were very closely connected to the angelic realm. And these people were, yeah, getting mad at me, like, you are a reptile, blah, 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 like, anyway, so yeah. But it's not all that black and white. It's not all that black and white, because then we are still perpetuating this matrix program of separation. And there are good energies, bad energies, negative, positive energies. In it's kind of like galactic racism. Again, I made a video on that, or a blog that was actually titled Galactic Racism, I believe, because all the things that we are doing on this planet, we cannot even get along with people that have a different skin color. Why do we have that program running? So go look at that on a larger scale. It's the same thing. We are doing the same thing on the planet that we are then projecting out into the universe. So that's enough rambling about that. Definitely go check out that video. Let me see if there are more comments. I think of reptilians, I think of the Illuminati. Exactly. That is the thing. And I did talk about that a little bit in that video. The reptilians are basically a group of a specific reptile group that came from another universe. And I have explained this in other videos. So they came from somewhere else where the frequency was too high for them. They could not stay there because that group had ascended into a higher level of consciousness, and beings that were trying to siphon energy from other beings and not have a direct connection with God could simply not live there. So they had to go to other places in the universe. So that is what's happening on our planet now too, with these Illuminati, with these negatively polarized people, beings that are still, of course, running the show. Not really anymore, because we are ascending on a planetary level. And the thing is, more and more people are waking up. This process cannot be stopped. We are moving through this wave of ascension. So these beings are going to get very triggered by this higher energy that is like, it's literally almost like a wave of electricity. And that's what's happening. That's why you are feeling overwhelmed. That's why you need this structure, why you need to make sure that you are taking care of your body so that it can properly process all of these integrations. And if you have a strong connection to Source, God, Creator, then you are fine. But if you, and I'm going to get into that because I got another comment I wanted to talk about right now, but if you are constantly relying on leeching off of other people, leeching off of people through fear, like religious leaders can do sometimes, like governments can do sometimes, authority figures, that is simply not going to be able to last in a higher frequency. Then that's going to get exposed. Light is going to be like shining on there pretty soon. And then that's going to be, well, look at the whole P. Diddy stuff. That stuff is going to get exposed. So yeah. Let me see. Sending blessings to you for your words today. And the other thing I can't pronounce. but I think it's something nice. So thank you. I can speak a little bit of Aramaic, and I did take a Celtic Church course with Oliver Huntley, and that was very interesting, and I learned a little bit, but not enough, not nearly enough. Like, I would need to dive into months and months or years probably of language studying to really get the most out of that. But there's a lot of people joining, so definitely go and watch the beginning for all of these, for all of you that are now joining, because I shared an entire channeled message from the dragons. But now I want to talk to you about something else. So first of all, Instagram's been acting weird. I regularly miss comments because I don't see them in my notifications. They don't send me any notifications of certain comments, and I will often miss them and see them weeks later. I will see them weeks later when I go back to the post, because like my mom right now, she's my biggest fan. She says, there's a comment on one of your videos, and it's a long comment, and I don't think you saw it because you would go and respond. Like, if it's a question, I will go and respond. I don't ignore comments when it's definitely an interesting one that has a good question in it. So she said it was weird because you didn't reply. So did you even see that comment? And so anyway, if you happen to leave a comment on one of my videos and I don't respond, I'm not ignoring you. It's just literally Instagram being a bastard. So that's what's happening. This person said, I do have some dragon experience and I'm getting to know my dragon guides, and that they had a question and they saw a video by somebody else, and this person said, so on YouTube or Instagram, I guess, a video by somebody else that said angels can be mean and jerks. And people in the comments were agreeing and saying that angels can lie to get you to do something for their highest good, or for your I don't know. This really bothered me because I was always told that angels don't have free will and they can only do good, and that if a being is trying to convince you to do something, it's probably a lower energy being, not an angel. Is this something you can confirm for me? I'm excited I found you. Looking forward to learning more from you. And I talk about this quite regularly, and it's because I feel that it's so important that you don't just believe whatever you hear on the internet, including the stuff I tell you right now. I don't know more than you do. I'm just sharing my experience with you, and that does not mean that I am right. So the thing with the internet is, it is very good that we can all share our experiences and the stuff that we have been learning, the stuff that we have been realizing on this spiritual awakening journey. But if somebody is new to channeling, if somebody is new to meditation, and you are suddenly exposed to all these energies, and I talked about this before, I'm going to do it again. The Rosicrucians, they call this Luciferian inflation. What happens is, when you are a wide open channel, when you are a newly awakened being, you get a ton of downloads, you get a bunch, you are a walking flashlight. You're a walking flashlight in the dark. That means all the different frequencies, all the different layers of non-physical beings are going to be able to see you because you're this walking flashlight. So what's going to happen is you can have very convincing spirits that are going to come up to you and say, I'm Archangel Michael, I am Jesus, I am Mother Mary, I am Kuan Yin, I am Saint Germain, I am, I don't know, another angel. And why would you not believe them? Because they seem so convincing. But in my free course, if you would like to just learn some easy, I have my blanket here, you guys. This is like a fun little chat for me. So I'm sitting here with this blanket. I have some good advice in there. It's completely free. It's in my Facebook group about how you can see if a spirit is an actual benevolent spirit guide, is an actual archangel, is an actual ascended master, is on your side, or if they are simply playing games with you, trying to, because they're literally just like, oh, look at this person, look at this walking flashlight. They have their radio turned on because you are just a radio and you can just listen to all these frequencies. So of course they're going to try to get your attention. So let me read to you guys what I wrote as a response. First, I apologize because I didn't get a notification. So then I said that I have made videos on this, to always take what people online are saying with a grain of salt, because a lot of people think they are communicating with archangels, ascended masters, all this stuff, and they can be trickster spirits, because an angel will never make you feel uneasy. They will not make you listen to your body. Your body is not gonna lie. If there is a being, non-physical being, talking to you and you feel weird, you feel anxious, you feel kind of stressed, and you feel constricted, like the energy is constricted, they will never treat you mean. An actual angel, an actual spirit guide that is on your side will never be mean. They can be direct. That does not mean they're going to be sugarcoating things. They can be very direct, especially these dragons, like this one, this eye. This is my dragon guide. But they are going to be direct in a very compassionate and like unconditionally loving way. You will always feel the warmth of their love, but they will give you direct guidance. But that's exactly what it is. They will give you guidance. They will not give you orders or be mean or mock you or be jerks like this person said. But there are a lot of people, and they do mean well, because the people that make these videos are not purposely trying to mislead you. They are trying to help. They are sharing their experiences, but an actual spirit guide that is here to guide you is going to respect the fact that you are on your journey and that they can lovingly guide you. They're not going to be mean. They have nothing to gain from this. A higher evolved being has nothing to gain from this except that they want to unconditionally support you. So why would they be mean or jerks? A lower frequency being has something to gain because they can siphon your energy. So they're gonna be mean because they want your energy. So that's how you can tell the difference. So yeah, I think that was another little rant, but that's exactly why we're here. Let me see what comments we have here. Yeah, the Libra Soul Sister says, I believe you. Yes. I went through a lot of these distortions. I think it's also normal to go through that stuff because that is how you learn. It's through experiencing different things that you learn. Jessica says, I wish I could stay. I gotta go to work. Well, there's gonna be a replay, so you can watch it on YouTube, in my Facebook group, or here on Instagram. That blue dragon eye was looking at me the other live. They are like the Mona Lisa. Sometimes they do that. And I used to have in my other place in Spain portraits behind me, and I would be like moving and they would still be looking at me. It's what they do. But I do believe these portraits, they do carry activations. When I paint them, when I draw them, I have conversations with the energies that I am painting. They feel alive, like they are alive, of course, and it's a translation of their energy onto paper. And when I send them over to people's houses, because they are ordered by the people that want them, then they are in their house and they say like, this room, there's a presence in the room now. I can feel the presence of this being in the portrait, and they are looking. It's like, yeah, they are looking at you when you walk by, like not in a creepy way, but like you can feel that they're there. They're supporting you. They are in the room. So that's why I love making these. I love making them for other people. I have a whole stack of them over there. But for now, the dragons are here and they're gonna be there for a while. So let me see. I feel the blue one. When you grab it, I feel it. Yeah, but he's also helping me with the dragon course. Well, all of the dragon guides are helping me, and I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit. But first, I have a few different card decks. Let me know in the comments if you want a card, if you're live with me right now. And I do believe that the cards that I pull individually for people, they also contain messages for whoever watches this on replay. So if you want a card, let me know, and just let me know what questions you have in the comments. And I'm gonna pull just some general cards for whoever is here right now or on replay, just to kind of see, because we got the channeled message from the dragons earlier. So if you're watching this on replay or you're just joining, then definitely go rewatch that. And I just pulled a card that I've been pulling every single day this past week. I pulled a card that I got every morning, and now I pulled it for the whole group. So let me see. Leadership, Archangel Gabriel, who is the messenger angel. The messenger, it is time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. So this is for all of you. This is mirrored, but that's what this card is. So it doesn't matter if it's in your family, like within your family, or maybe in a friend group, like a group of friends, and there's conflict. You can take up this leadership position, or in your office, or whatever situation that you can think of now. That's going to be it, because that's what your guides are now telling you. It's about that for you. It's about this for you. It's about that for you. It's going to be different for all of you. And the energy is gaining momentum. So what I feel, we've gone through this whole decluttering, like we're now decluttering. We are cleaning up this desk that I spoke of earlier. And this energy is now, it's like this wave in the back, and you're being pushed forward. So the energy is gaining momentum, but it's a good energy, and you can't really see what's ahead of you, and you're kind of moving really fast, and it's a little bit scary. But it is happening because it can now finally happen. The stuff that's standing in your way or was standing in your way is being removed, I feel. So let me see. Would love to hear more about why do the lower beings need our energy. Yeah, that is, I'm just quickly gonna respond to that. Basically what happened, and you can go and check out my other video that I did a few days ago about dragons do not equal reptilians. It's on my profile. What I said in that video is because there was a point in time where they consciously made a decision to separate themselves from source energy, because source wanted to experience itself in all kinds of ways and also experience what it would be like to completely forget that it was source. So these beings are constantly trying to find their way to the light, but they can't find it on their own, so they need other light sources. So the moment that they see this walking flashlight of a person, like that's a very psychic person, very intuitive, very sensitive person that is clearly connected to the big source, they're gonna hang on to that person, latch on, because they see that that's the source. You can be my source. And I have a webinar that I actually forgot all about, but I bumped into it again today. It's on my website. It's about celestial contracts, traumatic soul contracts. So with soulmates, with karmic soulmates, with people that have, for instance, if you want to look at it through a psychological lens, cluster B personality disorders such as narcissism, borderline, histrionic personality disorders. Those are people that are basically opening up to receiving attachments, and that translates to personality disorders. So I explain it in that webinar. That's a 1 hour long webinar. If you want to really get into the details, I explain it very well in that webinar. You can find it on my website. So that's kind of why they need your energy, but that does not mean that you are just a charity for everybody. Like, you are here with your channel, with your energy that you need to protect. I also have an article on psychic protection that's on my blog. So definitely, if you are interested in that, go find it. It's on my Substack blog somewhere. Yes, please, a card for me, no question. Okay, a dragon card. I feel that you want, because you commented a few days ago and said, I don't know much about dragons, but want to learn, and immediately dragons came through for your card. So let's see. Orange dragon brings soul families and communities together, spread belonging, warmth, and oneness, bring people everywhere together. I feel, and I kind of see you doing things. Like, I'm seeing you in a little market, like working with other people, doing some type of event, like a cozy small event. I don't know if that's something you're planning or wanting to do, but that is something that is like a timeline, a possible timeline for you that could manifest, that you're doing something with other people, an actual physical event. You're doing something in the real 3D world that's not online, and that's just something happy, that feels good. It feels good for you. So if that opportunity arises, that is something that the dragons could help you with. Thank you, it resonates. A soul tribe is coming in, and I feel this for more people, that we are going to be doing more direct work with people, because we are now, of course, because of COVID, we've kind of been conditioned to, okay, online work, distance work. That was really good for us to kind of fine tune. What are we doing? What are we doing here? And now a lot of people are just ready to start expanding, to do this on a larger scale, to do this more directly with people. So yeah, Divinity says, may I have a dragon card too? I'm gonna pull one for you. I have, by the way, for those watching, Lemurian cards, the Moonology deck, angel cards, dragon cards, and spirit animal tarot deck. So that's what I have, in case you want a specific one. Let's see for Divinity. What is coming up? Golden Christed Dragon brings you higher love so that you can embody the Christ light. Absorb the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain fifth dimensional. So I've done a few readings for you already, and this completely resonates with the stuff that came through. You are here to really embody this higher version. You're ready to, and I'm thinking back to your dragon reading that I did. That was really a timeline of you are protected, you're safe, you know what you're doing, and you are here to really do this from your heart. So this is just a confirmation again of the stuff that came through for you, I feel, when I did your reading a couple of months ago. I also really like this card. So this is basically a golden dragon. This is a golden dragon. So yeah. Where are we? And Olga wants a dragon card or another card. I'm feeling Lemurian card. I'm hearing the Lemurian card deck. But I'm going to be talking to Olga tomorrow, so I can still, maybe for fun, pull a few dragon cards tomorrow for you. But right now it's the Lemurian deck that wants to give you a message. And it's this card that is hidden. I don't know how you guys pull cards, but I will be told which card wants to come out. And it was one that was hidden. And that in itself gives me a message. Like, it's something inside of you that's hidden, that is like, I don't want to be hidden anymore. I'm ready. Portals, doorways into now, letting go of the warrior. That is an interesting one. And I feel this is something that more people can resonate with. we are ready to kind of just relax into peace. And that resonates too with, okay, we had this massive cleansing last week, this message that came through last week, and now we don't need to rush. We can look at what needs to be dealt with. The clutter needs to be cleaned up, and we can just walk through this doorway and know that we are safe. We are okay, and we're gonna be okay. We don't need to fight for everything. Things will work out. We don't always have to keep on fighting for stuff. Sometimes we need to just let things unfold. So I hope that that was helpful for you. Brandy, can I have a card too? Yes. Okay, Brandy, what a Moonology card. Yes, okay. So these, I feel like the image that I'm being shown is like all of your guides are kind of like speaking, like, pull this card for her, pull this card. That is really cool. I don't think I've ever had this many people online at once during a live. Okay, Brandy. A fiery climax approaches. I'm gonna pull a second card to see exactly what that is about. I want more information. This is a spirit animal deck. And optimism, innovation. Okay, I feel like there's stuff indeed. You also had to go through some stuff. Like, I feel maybe you were sick, maybe you had something coming up, like a cough or some weird stuff that came up. And like emotionally too, some emotions came up, but now you feel like you can leave that stuff behind you, and you can see new ways of doing things, better ways of doing things. So that's what's coming through, and you will know what that is about for you, is what I'm hearing. So yeah, the Libra Soul Sisters, I would love a Lemurian card. Okay. I don't really use this often because they're really big, but they are pretty cards, but they're just really big. But they are nice cards. The illustrations are nice. And sometimes there will be cards that are like, when I shuffle them, that are all weird like this, and then they are like, yep, I'm your card. And then I know the Libra Soul Sisters, Divine Feminine, receive your birthright, unconditional love. So that's what this looks like. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck, actually. Again, this is very similar to the message that came through for, I can't remember, but a message came through earlier too, just relaxing for Olga, I think. Relaxing into just being. You can kind of take off this armor. You can relax into receiving, into just receiving love, loving yourself too. Receiving love from yourself, because it is your birthright. So I hope that that was helpful. Divinity says yes, I'm glad it resonates. Monica, I feel an energy which makes me make weird faces. Any guidance from you regarding what that can be about? Is it like an intrusive energy? I'm assuming it's not something that you like. It's not an energy that you are wanting around. In the beginning, I don't know if you were here in the beginning of this call. I'm also going to pull a card, but I'm also going to just give some advice. What would be a very good way to clear your energy really fast, real quick, is to repeat a daily mantra or prayer. And you don't need to be religious or anything, on the contrary, because what I work with is Aramaic toning, Aramaic praying, because of course the original Christ teachings, the Gnostic teachings, they are post-Atlantean teachings. They come from Atlantis. And the Essenes, yeah, I'm going to get off on a little tangent. The Aramaic language is one of the last light languages that is still spoken on the planet. There is still a dialect of Aramaic, the Syriac dialect, that is spoken in Orthodox churches in Mass. You can still hear Aramaic being spoken in Eastern Europe in churches and stuff. This is a high frequency language that just by speaking those words, you can reset the frequency of something. And in my article that I wrote about psychic protection, I have some other advice too, like certain mantras, certain crystals that you can use to reset the frequency of something real quick. When you notice there's an energy that is, you are this walking flashlight that is attracted to you, then you can quickly just let it know that you are protected. And of course, dragons, the dragons, of course. Like, if you have a personal dragon guide, you can work with that one, but dragons are accessible to anybody. There are dragon collectives, several different types of dragons, different groups of dragons that you can work with for different things, but anybody can call upon the seraphim, the golden dragons. They are very closely connected to source energy. They are of this very high Christ light, and you can just call upon them. Archangel Michael is a seraphim, by the way. You can call upon Archangel Michael whenever you just feel weird, whenever you feel there's something intruding, whenever you feel like there's something pressing on your energy field. Sometimes you can feel it as physically something trying to press on you energetically. Call upon Archangel Michael and just say, Archangel Michael, please clear, release, delete, and transmute across all time, dimension, space, reality, anything that is not resonating with the frequency of my higher self. You can just say that, something like that, and you will feel that it starts to lift. So you can repeat that a few times. You can repeat that every time when you feel that there's something trying to break in to your energy. And I pulled this extra card for you that says, your dreams need a practical plan. What I feel that means, Monica, is, yeah, what I just explained. Have like a little easy thing, like a little routine that's really easy to do, because we're all busy, of course. We all have lives. We can't sit for 5 hours every day and meditate. In my free course, that's in my Facebook group, I do have some advice as well on psychic protection. That's easy, that you can do when you have kids, when you have a job, all that stuff. So definitely go look at that. It's all in my bio, the link to all of that. Caitlin. Okay, Caitlin, what card? Dragons. I wasn't sure if, like, the Lemurian deck was calling me and the dragons, but it's dragons for you. I'm going to stay online for a few more minutes and then I'm gonna have to leave you. But I am going to do another one next week or the week after. I'm not sure yet, but I will definitely be doing them more often. I'm not surprised, Caitlin, that you got this dark blue galactic dragon. Helps you listen to the voice of the universe, ignite the codes of your master blueprint, access cosmic wisdom, and enter higher service. This has been coming up for you, and you have been telling me about this, that you feel there's something pushing you, there's something you're ready to like up level. And Sirius is coming through, and you have connections to Sirius, you have these mermaid connections, you have connections to this water energy, this blue frequency, this blue ray. So tune in to this frequency and really just ask it, I feel, show me what I need to see right now to access this master blueprint, is what's coming through. I would love a card too, Lemurian or Dragon. Okay, Lemurian is what's coming through for you. 𝗏𝗏𝗴𝗃. What is your name, so that I know what your actual name is? And there's another little hidden card that wants to come out. Awakening. Know who you are. DNA activation. So you're probably starting to get a lot of insights, downloads, a lot of little puzzle pieces that are coming in. And it's just all like clicking together, a lot of stuff clicking together. And what I'm hearing is just let it happen. Just observe it. Kind of observe all this stuff. And little by little, like what this channeled message, I don't know if you were here when I shared the channeled message in the beginning, that the clarity is going to come and you're going to see how the dust is settling and all these things are going to start to make sense right away. Like they're going to start to make sense. You have beautiful eyes. Thank you. And also look at my gray hair. Can you guys see this? Do you see this? That's crazy. Okay, anyway, back to what I was doing, reading comments. So Georgina is here. Hi, Georgina. Thank you for the live. Oops, I'm accidentally clicking on stuff. Okay. Good. What else was I gonna say? So yeah, I had in my notes, I wanted to talk about dragons a bit. Dragons, angels, we did kind of talk about both of those, but they are connected. Dragons and angels are from the same celestial family. So if you would like to learn more about seraphim, dragons, all of this stuff, I have a channeled story that is on my website that is really affordable. And I really get into the history of the dragons, the history of Atlantis. And I am working on a dragon course. So that is going to be released on the 5th of May. And it's a course that's a 3-step program where you step into the dragon cave with me. And I go into the Akashic Records of the dragons. And I don't know, some of you may know Chris. Her account on Instagram is A Connected Spark. She's also on Substack under the name A Connected Spark. And she's one of my guest speakers. And what we did is we talked about, like, why are the dragons here? What are they doing here? How are they assisting us? How can you work with your dragon? What type of dragons are there? What type of dragons are working with humanity? Then I have a module where I talk about the origin of the dragons, their history in the universe, in other universes, where they came from, the reptilians, dragons in Lemuria. Then there's a module where I talk about dragons in Atlantis, the spiritual dragon knighthood of Atlantis. What is that? Dragon oracles, dragon magicians, such as Merlin, dragon knights, dragon riders. These are all members of this spiritual dragon order. And this is a galactic order, really. It's not just an Atlantean order, but because we are sort of reestablishing a new Atlantis, that is why this is coming up now, because we are reawakening the energy of Atlantis and Lemuria. So that is what I talk about. I talk about Avalon and the alchemical merge. So the alchemical merge is a process that people went through in times of Avalon to connect with their dragon. And we are doing this again in this lifetime in the astral. We're doing a new version of this alchemical merge where you can merge with your dragon guide and work on a higher level for psychic protection, getting clear on your soul purpose, getting assistance in your spirit work. Like, my dragon helps me to go into the Akashic Records. My dragons are always helping me with any spiritual work that I do. And what else? About the Middle Ages, about the violet flame. How do dragons work with the violet flame? All of this stuff is stuff that I talk about in this Dragon Codes course. So if you want to learn more about that, go read about it on my website. If you want to get started by reading these dragon stories, they are also on my website. I have a free course, like a free playlist about dragons on YouTube that you can find. I also have a free Akashic Records series, a 33 video series where I talk about the nature of time, past lives, and that past lives don't really exist. They're all existing simultaneously, parallel next to each other. That's also on YouTube. And my free video course on intuitive development, psychic protection, is in my Facebook group, and all the other stuff that I rambled about. So basically it's all on my website. And if you have any questions, or you're not really sure how you can work with me, or you want to work with me and you're not sure what to do, just message me, email me, explain what's happening, and I can get you started. My goal is not to just make a bunch of money off of you. I have a bunch of free stuff that I can show you first, and then I can see how maybe I can go deeper with you. So don't be afraid to reach out to me. And I think that's enough rambling for today, but I'm really glad that all of you were here with me today. I really enjoy when there are a lot of people live, so that we can really have a conversation. And if you have anything you want to share about these energies that have been coming through, about advice that works for you, share it in the comments. Other people can read it, they can try it out, and I will be back with another live soon. Sign up for my newsletter if you want to stay up to date on the lives. I announce them in my newsletter, and I wish you all a great rest of your weekend, and I will be back soon. Bye bye.